Hey everybody, this time of year, I always like to have a little chat with George Prout from Gems One. I consider him the expert in what's next or what's coming. And so we just want to make sure that what you have on your shelves and in your cases is the proper items, and they're priced perfectly. All you have to do is do a little recon, go to your local K's or your local any chain store, grab a flyer and find out what they're selling and what the price they're selling it at. And so in my discussion with George, a lot of these things are happening right here. First of all, we've got this baguette look. Doesn't show up really good. Yeah, there it is. It's the baguette look. Those are coming back huge. And then, of course, their third page in is lab-grown diamond product. And so this is huge, it's becoming huger, and it's going to become really huge. So be sure you've got something like this on your shelves. So anyhow, let's take a look here at my little phone call with George last night, and just make sure that you guys have the right stuff on your shelves, in your cases, and it's priced perfectly.
Okay, so lab is the big sleeper thing that, honestly, that's the earthquake that's happening under your feet that you may not notice. But you may turn around and suddenly see a damn tsunami coming. So just be aware that it's occurring.
Okay.
The thing that's happened in the basic trends categories is that baguettes are now going to rule. Baguette prices are up 35% since last January. One of the bridal companies, I can't think of the name of it right now, but anyway, the key piece that they chose to advertise nationally was this basic look that had 4 rounds in the corners, and then a frame of baguettes, and then 3 baguettes in the middle. Simon G, okay? So Simon G advertised it. It was 1 carat silver, but I think it retailed for something crazy like $7 grand. But it was a beautiful piece of jewelry.
Okay.
What happened subsequently was that kind of look started showing up in Instagram and Pinterest, okay? In the past, because you and I have had this discussion before, the sources for trends tend to be K's, Zales, Jared, or De Beers, or Tiffany, or Forever Mark. I mean, this stuff comes from the top. Mm-hmm. This trend came from the bottom. This will be the first social media driven trend, because what's happening is all my friends who are manufacturers in India and China have been watching their Pinterest and Instagram accounts, and this baguette look kept coming and coming and coming. And then last January at Vicenza, 2 major companies launched the look. By the time I got to Hong Kong in March, there were like 30 big companies with it. Okay, expect baguettes to be important if you want to be a trendsetter in your market. If you are a female jeweler, you should be wearing baguettes. If you're a female sales associate, you should be wearing baguettes. Make sure your staffers are wearing this stuff in the store, okay?
Okay.
The most powerful billboard in your town is not out on Route 9. It's your chest.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so lab baguettes, okay, hoops. Hoops have been selling for a long time, but this year, inside out hoops are going to have a tremendous, big diameters, tremendous amount of emphasis, and very price driven. Like the 1 carat total weight inside out hoop at $9.99 is going to be a rock'em sock'em SKU. That's the kind of thing where if you're going to advertise something, that's what you want to have.
All right, see that right there? Those are the hoops I bought Sharon last Christmas. They weren't big enough. They weren't big enough.
So anyway, that's
okay.
That's definitely happening.
Illusion plates?
Well, yeah, illusion plates are just on fire. And to tell that story again, I guess it was 6 years ago now, Rosie Blue had an illusion plate diamond stud unit on Memo and Zales. It totally rocked to the point that within 6 months, everybody had this look. Now, if you want to see it, walk into a K's, and they call it Radiant Reflections. And normally, when you think of illusion, you think of like a Kmart crappy thing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
The affluent consumer doesn't want to buy something that's artificially enhanced, right?
Right.
But in the case of this, it's not that it's been artificially enhanced, it's that the design allows it to look bigger without looking fake.
Okay.
So illusion plates are a really, really big thing. Stackable anything is a really, really big thing. Also, we will continue to see an evolution towards petite gold rather than big chunky silver. Okay. I'm finally starting to see some yellow gold selling. Definitely seeing pink gold accent selling. Little stuff. And the problem is that for your bigger corn-fed gals, little stuff looks pretty dinky. So I don't know how that's all going to play itself out in mainstream America. But I do think it's reasonable to expect that little dainty, delicate stuff is going to be.
I noticed that in the Levy online. There are some dainty yellow levy on bypass type things that seem unusually small, but you're right.
No, it's where it's going. It's going to little, and there you have it. So on the one hand, you've got big, humongous diameter hoops. You got little tiny things, delicate little. Okay, and then lastly, those are all I think the core group of trends. I mean, recognize that if Christmas really turns on, look at your inventory and see what have you got that's $500 and down, and maybe even more important, what have you got that's $300 and down? I know that's not an exciting price point for a lot of your stores, but the reality is, if that's where the consumer is, that's where you need to be too. Right. Also recognize, I'm going into the home office of IDC tomorrow to build their Christmas flyer. They carry every bridal brand. They're the largest seller of Forevermark, what do they call that? Forevermark Exquisite or Forevermark Unique, or the big Forevermark diamonds in North America.
Sure.
They are really good at what they do, and they dominate bridal. So what am I putting in their flyer? A whole bunch of $99, $199, $299. Why? Here's why. We know from a De Beers focus group study that over 99% of American women who receive an engagement ring received a gift of jewelry during the prior 12 months. And if you think about the dating ritual, that makes sense. Boy meets girl, they go to dinner, they go to movies, they go to parties. At some point, he's got to buy her something both to express affection as well as to mark her as taken so other suitors know that she's taken. Right. So we know from just IDC's data, in the last 12 rolling months, 14.8% of the people we attracted at Christmas and Valentine's Day bought an engagement ring as a second purchase. So if you want to sell bridal in 2019, don't forget to make Christmas your key time where you start a dialogue with these pre-bridal males.
At 200, 300, 500, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, in fact, here's the golden question that every sales associate should be trained to ask. When a guy comes in and he's in the right age range to buy a $99 to $299 gift, you should ask, is it for your wife? If the answer to that is yes, then yay, you've identified a bottom-feeding male. Sure. Wrap it up and get on to the next customer. That's the most you get for that guy. Yeah. But the answer to that is no. You may have identified a very important $6,000 to $9,000 sale that's going to occur next year. It's critically important that you get that guy, that you make him feel at home. Most of those guys would rather walk into a hospital than a fine jewelry store. Right? I mean, it's like they don't belong, man. Okay, like when I was a little boy, my dad was a surgeon, and I remember going to a Christmas party in the operating room. I couldn't eat anything. I mean, I was just totally freaked out. I was in an operating room, for God's sake. So think about what it's like for this 26-year-old kid who is next year going to buy that Tacori ring. Right. You want to make sure that he likes you.
But shame on us if we don't have something for $99, $199, $149 in there for him now, right?
Absolutely. And you know what? Honest to God, don't kick his butt trying to step him up $100.
Right.
Let him buy in his range. Let him feel great about it. You know what he's really buying? He's buying something that will make her face melt. And if it's got your box, if your name's on the box, as her face melts, your name is being emblazoned in a part of her brain that 6 months from now, when she says, okay, honey, it's time to buy an engagement ring, guess where she's going to go?
Yep, absolutely.
Well, it's not so much Winex, but it's evolutions on that long drop theme. Those kinds of things, the lariat type looks, especially if it's got bezels. Remember that you've got diamond by the yard stuff. Forevermark's going to spend a ton of money, on Tribute again. Tribute is that stackable ring that's all bezel. So when you see that kind of stuff being advertised, you got a couple choices. You go, oh man, I wish I carried Evermark. Or you can get, hey, I'm going to get something just like that, just a third of the price. Right. Because there's no status overpaying, okay? And a lot of this stuff that's on billboards is ridiculously expensive. So get yourself in the game where you've got these things that people are looking at. Because remember, one of the motivations for a male gift giver is really to not be embarrassed. He opens that box. What you want to make sure of is that she doesn't make that face you make when you bite into a lemon, right? So, and he doesn't know what's in style. Like, it's ridiculous. He has no clue, and he's not interested. He's Christmas shopping to solve a problem, which is he's got to have something out of the tree. And all he hopes is, oh, God, I hope she likes it. Oh, God, I don't look like an idiot because I bought, elephant earrings or something.
So, guys, I spliced that up a little bit because his internet connection in the hotel wasn't that great. But again, I just want to stress that George from Gems 1, he does have a great pulse on the industry and what to expect, and helping stores, setting stores up for success and having the right product at the right price. So, I do want to also stress, too, that when you have these items in your cases, be sure that you set them in suites so that we're showing the ring right next to the pendant, right next to the earrings, and then we all have them price pointed with little table tents showing what the price is. This will lower the threshold resistance for a lot of men coming into our stores, looking in the cases, wondering what that costs. And anything that we can do to reduce that stress level for guys, we want to be doing it, okay? And again, final thing I do want to stress is that guys that are coming in right now spending $199, $399 on a piece of jewelry for their girl for Christmas are very likely to be coming in to be spending $5,000 and $10,000 on that diamond engagement ring within the next year or two. So think of that. You're prepping guys for the big purchase and to make them your jeweler. So this is your time to make an amazing impact on young guys walking into your store, okay? See you next week.